Welcome to Mining the Maximo database. This lesson is the Quick Find feature. I'm in work order tracking right now, and the Quick Find feature can be found right here. When searching for a specific record, if you know the exact value of the key field, for example, in work order tracking, it's the work order number, you can enter the number into the Quick Find field in the toolbar and press the Enter key. This is a really quick way to find, quick find, hey, but there are some caveats that are involved. So what I want to do right at this point is I want to start by looking at the where clause. If you recall in some other lessons that we talked about, we looked at the where clause. If you click the down arrow on the advanced search and go to where clause and click on that, you'll notice here that you can see the where clause. This is the default where clause. Basically, it's saying I want the work order class to be either work order or activity, the history flag to be 0, which means I don't want it an archived record. IsTask is 0, means it's not a task, and site ID is MST1, which is our site for Missouri S&T. That is the default where clause. So when you just open up work order tracking and start looking through the records, searching through the records and displaying them, you're working with the non-archived or the active work order records, and not the archived ones which have been closed. So now that we know that, and you can take a look at that where clause there, go ahead and cancel. Now I'm going to go ahead at this point and just do a regular search, and I'm going to put in a work order number 224874, press enter, and here I have a work order record up. That's a regular search. That's not using the Quick Find. So I want to take a look at the where clause again. You'll notice now that there's some more text added to this. Not only is there the default query, but now added to that is and wonum like, and here's our number, 224874. So wonum is work order number, and that's been added on to our where clause. That's a normal search. That's how that happens. When you put in any criteria into the filter line, press enter, that gets added to the where clause, and that's what it searches for. This is what it uses to search. Let me go ahead and hit cancel here, and I'm going to go ahead and clear that filter again. So I'm back to the default filter again. Now I'm going to use the Quick Find feature. Again, I'm going to put in 224874, and it has to be the exact number. You can't use wildcards here. You can't use partials. 224874 in the Quick Find field, and I'm going to press enter. And here it is. It automatically pops it over to the work order tab, but on the list tab you can see it's the one that we're looking for. What I'd like to do now, though, is take a look back at the list. I want to take a look at the where clause. You'll notice now that the default filter is not there anymore. The only thing that is there is the work order number part. So when you use the Quick Find, it clears out the default filter and uses only the criteria that you put in. Now, that's fine for quickly finding a record. But the caveat here is that if we decide to do any subsequent searches using the filter line, that default is not going to be there. So it's going to look through the entire table of work orders, which is somewhere beyond 200,000 records. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. Let's take a look at the where clause. You'll see the where clause now is blank. So we're going to look at the entire record now. I'm going to put in hot, comma, cold here, and press enter. And you may notice it's going to take, well, it took a little bit of time. But basically what we're getting now is not only the active records, as you can see here, we're getting closed records too. So this may or may not be what you're looking for. I mean, now for hot and cold, I'm getting 4,130 records. That's too many. If you're looking for archive records, that's one thing. But I just want you to know that when you use that quick find feature, that clears out that default where clause, the default filter, and only institutes your criteria. And you'll have to reinstate that filter back if you want to look at just the active records. So I just want you to be aware of that. And the way to reinstate it is to go to Advanced Search and go down here to Restore Application Defaults. And you'll notice it has put some criteria back into our our filter fields. And here we are. Now we're back to normal again. Our where clause, there's our normal where clause again. So quick find is great. It works good if you know the exact criteria for your key field. For work orders, it's a work order number, but just the caveat is that it clears the default filter out. And that's the quick find feature. Thank you.